The Olight i3T. This light has gotten a lot of praise in videos and gadget forums, and I've seen it referred to as the perfect EDC light quite a few times. So much so that it kind of urged me to go get one. I've owned it for about 4 or 5 months now, and while there are aspects about it that I totally get the praise, such as the build quality is excellent like all of Olights tend to be, the beam profile is everything that I would want from a small pocket light like this. You have a useful spotlight in the middle and then a really helpful fill around the outside. For shorter distances, perfect. If you're walking around a dark basement or something or peeking under a desk, it gives you what you need. However, the brightness modes seem oddly chosen to me. You only have 2 brightness modes, essentially what is a firefly mode and a turbo mode. Some people probably describe this as having the perfect balance with both of those modes, but for me, what I end up with is with an awkward scenario where the firefly mode is quite often not bright enough for what I need, and the turbo is overkill. And when you're already talking about a AAA battery that doesn't have a lot of runtime to begin with compared to other batteries, being forced to always resort to a power-hungry turbo mode, to me, is a real bummer. In rare instances where maybe I'm up late and I need to go into the bedroom to grab something and I don't want to wake up my wife, sure, firefly mode, very nice. Gives you just enough light to shine around with basically no spill. It's not going to catch anybody's attention. But for every other scenario I can imagine, it offers nothing that my phone's flashlight isn't already doing, other than that turbo mode, which most of the time I never really want to use. On a little pocket light like this, I rarely find myself in a scenario where I would want to be using 200 lumens. And it doesn't feature a memory mode, which to me kind of drives me nuts, because you can, through clicking it on and off 5 times, toggle it between when you turn it on, does it default to the turbo mode or does it default to the firefly mode? And honestly, I haven't found that either of them really feels right to me, because if I tell it to be in firefly mode, then I'm often in a scenario where it comes on in this totally not enough light mode, and then I've got to go out of my way to switch it. And I also don't really like it defaulting to the turbo mode, because then I'm like, if I don't need that much light, it's always coming on way too bright and using valuable battery power. It, to me, is just not a good configuration, and it's a shame because the weight is great on it and it really just disappears into the pocket. And against similar sized lights like the Lumentop Tool AAA, and I've had this one for many years, it does have a 32 lumen medium mode, and I find myself almost exclusively using that on this light. And for a pocket light, 32 lumens, I think, is a wonderful balance of, it's perfect for shining under a desk, to find keys or something, to find your way around on a path at night on a sidewalk or something, etc. And in the rare time when I do need turbo, it's there, but I'm not blowing the battery in this all the time on a mode that doesn't make any sense. And the more I switch between these for a while, this having that makes the absence of it in this just all the more apparent. And this ends up really collecting dust for me, because I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity, the way that they configured those. It just doesn't make sense to me for a pocket light. What do you guys think? Do you have the Olight i3T and love it, or do you agree that the extreme mode spreads are a bit strange for an EDC light? Let me know in the comments below.